Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Julia Cash, the Concertmaster of Pro Arte Chamber Orchestra, and we're really looking forward to our next orchestral series concert on April 6th at 3 p.m. at Second Church in Newton. And we're so excited to feature our principal violist, Anne Black, who's here with me today. We just had a rehearsal for a little chamber performance that we're doing, and we wanted to talk about Anne's special concerto appearance that she's going to be making with us in Jennifer Higdon's Viola Concerto. And Anne has some really cool information about some background information that she's done, so we thought we would just tell you guys a little bit about that today.
Yeah. Well, Jennifer Higdon wrote this concerto about 10 years ago or so, and she wrote it for Roberto Diaz, who actually used to be in the Boston area, and he was down at Curtis at that time, or actually in the Philadelphia Orchestra too, I think. But so she wrote it for him, and yeah, so she when she got the commission, she approached writing for the viola like she does all the other instruments that she's written for, in which she listens to a lot of the repertoire that's already been written for viola in terms of concertos and things. And so she started doing that, and in an interview about this piece before the premiere, she describes her process as thinking, well, she started listening, and she listened to a couple and was like, wow, they're kind of dark. And then she listened to a couple more, and she's like, wow, those are dark too in sound.
There are a lot of dark viola concertos out there, it's true.
So she finally said, I got to write something more up. So that was just funny, because the funnier thing about that is that I went through the same process when I picked this piece. So we both kind of came to the same conclusion from either side. So anyways, then she kind of described how she imagined writing this piece, and she had some ideas that from one of the very first pieces she wrote was a viola sonata, so she used some little themes from that kind of to get her started. But she did actually imagine, like, the first movement is a very lyrical movement, and for me as a performer, I feel like it's kind of like going on a little journey, and it's just like a conversation almost in your head, but you're just going through all these things and thoughts and feelings and stuff, but it's a really beautiful movement. And then for the second movement, she thought, nobody's ever written a scherzo in a concerto, and well, I want to do that, but it's going to be a scherzo that it's a little off kilter. So it's got kind of funky rhythms and everything, and she said it's like the violist is just leading a merry band around, and they're drunk. So, some people go off that way, some people go off another way, and the violist is just kind of trying to pull them all back
Sounds
together.
like she's making the scherzo into a joke.
Yeah.
The traditional joke term that the word scherzo actually means.
Yeah, right. So it's a lot of fun. It's really fun, lots of kind of jazzy rhythms and stuff, and then she thought, well, okay, so for the third movement, that's got to be a little more normal. So, and that movement's it almost stands by itself as a piece unto itself, and it has really lyrical sections. It, kind of majestic in some places, and then there's other parts where that funky part of the second movement sort of comes back. It's not quite as off kilter as in the second movement, but. So that's really fun.
Sounds great. Yeah. And I know you said you thought it was a really good piece for Pro Arte to play, because there's a lot of sort of chamber music elements too.
Yeah,
with it.
She's all through the piece, and especially in the third movement, she pairs principal players of the orchestra as soloists along with the viola. So it's on, it might one point be a duet with the violin, and there's other places where the cello and the viola play together, and there's actually one place where we're all playing as a trio, but also a lot of the wind players, flute, of course, her favorite instrument, and but even the trumpet muted and the horn, there's lots of places like that. And she thought very carefully about orchestrating this piece to be able to be played by a chamber orchestra, which I thought was really cool.
That's perfect for us.
Yeah.
That's perfect for us. Well, and I'm always excited to bring more women's music, to the forefront. So definitely. I think it'll be a great program.
Yeah. No, I'm really thrilled to do it.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to it. Join us on April 6th, and you'll get to hear the Higdon Viola Concerto live. Okay, thanks so much.